Welcome to quite possibly the most nostalgic video that I have ever created. Anytime I get struck with an idea that can either show people what it was like in early RuneScape or create a trip down memory lane for those who've played in early RuneScape, I jump at the opportunity. So like in many of my videos, we are going to pretend the year is 2004, December 31st, 2004 to be exact. I am going to be starting with absolutely nothing, and I must use 2004 money-making methods to buy gear and items using market prices from back then. The goal of the video isn't to make money as fast as possible, but instead to explore high-level moneymakers and to find out how easy or hard it was to get best-in-slot gear as someone with a very high-level account. So let's get started. I think the perfect way to start making money is going to be fishing, specifically fishing sharks. We don't need to make money for a rune axe, a rune pickaxe. So we just simply pick up a harpoon off the ground and start fishing away. Also, 85 fishing for way back in 2004 would have been an absolutely insane level to have. It's also pretty AFK, and raw sharks go from anywhere between 500 and 1000 GP each, making it the perfect starting training method. So aside from being incredibly nostalgic, one of the reasons why I wanted to do sharks first was because of how extremely AFK it is. And I was able to just go through all the methods that I want to pick and do throughout this video and compare that to item prices and how many items I can get versus how many hours I'm grinding with certain methods and how much money they make. And I think you guys are going to be really shocked on how good / bad some methods are and how cheap / expensive certain items are. So strap in, guys, because I think this is going to be a really exciting video, and I think it'll help really put into perspective what 2004 RuneScape was really like. Okay, so we've officially entity hided everybody around me and all their noise as well, so you're just going to hear me, you're just going to see me. There's a few NPCs that'll make it through the cracks that aren't 04, but for the most part, we're going to keep the immersion strictly 2004. Ayo, what the hell? What? That's not 2004. I'm trying to keep an immersion here. Every time I try to do like a cool little quirky video, like everybody knows what I'm up to in my CC. That's crazy. And the worst part is it's 1 in 5K. 5K. We're going to stop our fishing there about 2.5 hours in. It doesn't really feel like I've gotten that much, but 322. Let's go sell these. I want everyone to meet my buddy. We'll refer to him as the 2004 market. He is allowed to buy anything off of me, as well as sell anything to me, but his prices are always fair. I will be doing deep dives through fan site and forum archives to get as close to the correct price as possible. He will simulate buying and selling in the Falador Park, as that is a lost art of a bygone era. Oh, I'm excited. We're coming up on our first trade with the RuneScape market. So we're only going to get the middle price, so we are only going to get 750 coins per, which will come out to 241.5k. Honestly, thought I'd get a little bit more than that. It was only about 100k an hour, but that is a nice start to the journey. When playing RuneScape, there's tons of moments that you'll find yourself AFKing. Why not make really good use of that time and learn back-end web development from start to finish? This is where boot.dev comes in, the smartest way to learn Python and Go programming languages from start to finish. They specialize in creating an online, self-paced learning environment, which will feel more like a captivating RPG game than some boring online class. The platform is designed to get you writing a ton of code because hands-on experience will get you learning in no time. When you get started, you'll earn XP, levels, achievements, and complete quests to get a top spot on the global leaderboards. The team at boot.dev also wants no student to feel like they've spent money on a product that isn't helping them. They have a 30-day, no questions asked refund policy, as well as a free demo of every course and its interactive tips. For those of you who want to unlock the magic of coding, click the link in the description and use my code Rargh to get 25% off your first payment for boot.dev. That's 20% off your first month or your first year, depending on the subscription you choose. I want to try runecrafting next, and we're going to buy a nature talisman as well as 2,000 rune essence. Now, back in 04, you had to buy Rune Essence and only Rune Essence. Pure Essence did not exist. In 2006, there was an update which split the two of them. So just pretend that we are using Rune Essence for the sake of immersion. Now, these were an average of 45 GP each, and unfortunately, Rune HQ puts the Nature Talisman at 10k. I'm opting not to spend any money when it comes to energy pots or super energy pots because Aventos go for 2 to 3k each, and Harrowlanders go for 1k each. And I mean, I just spent 10k on this, and I still can't believe that. All right, we're gonna buy a knife real quick here, and then actually, do they sell a tinderbox also? They do. Perfect. Because we're gonna pick up some boots of lightness, and of course, we want to weigh as little as possible. That's only gonna be 3 coins. Perfect. So use that on that. So yeah, you need a candle to get down here, or at least to see while you're down here. Chop that. Boots of lightness, the only negative weight item in 04. I'm still kind of stressed about the 10k talisman, but when I really think about it, the more it makes sense. Because you would never sell or buy nature talismans in bulk, so when you need one to get it really quick, you're more than willing just to drop 10k on it, just like if you were buying one law rune, just so you can get to Varrock quicker and start doing whatever you're doing much quicker than you normally would. Buying law rune 1k, we've all done that back in the day. So it's probably the same thing with the nature talisman, where you either get it yourself, and these aren't hard to get, but it's definitely a detour if I were to do it now, and it's just a convenience feat. So the best thing about runecrafting in 2004 is definitely its simplicity. It is honestly just as easy as running to the general store, selling some pure essence, or in this case, rune essence, buying them back to unnote them because we're too far from a bank, and going back to the altar just like that to get 25 nature runes. Or it's funny, actually, the next trip I have to do 24 because that just fills in a spot. And of course, I'm not banking. So I guess I could just chuck it in the general store, but I'm going to get more selling it in Valley Park. All right, so we trade, have to sell 10, 10, and then 4 like this. Am I honestly going to do that? I might just sell 25 or 10, 10, and 5, and then buy it back much quicker because I'm taking an extra like 5 seconds just doing that, to be honest. Look at this silly little obstacle. I believe it's 79 agility, and it was just added about a month ago. So let's turn off that plugin so we don't see it, because that makes the shallow bank incredibly, incredibly close. And as we know, that does not exist in 2004. The bank does, not the shortcut. And walking around was the only option. Even fairy rings did not exist. I think those were like still 2 years away. I'm pretty sure that's 2006. Definitely not 2004. And I think that's also why I love 04 methods so much. It's the weird workarounds due to the lack of quality of life updates. I mean, look, they even added an NPC to unnote your pure essence now, when the reason this NPC is here is because of the quirky nature of people running to the general store and using it as a bank. Guys, I don't even think I'm gonna hit 700 runes in an hour. That is absolutely insane. I mean, if I had energy potions, I could probably hit over 1,000, but without, I really don't think I'm gonna even hit 700. I am also not getting double nats, if that wasn't obvious already. I'm a little stressed because I'm really close to the 91, but I am comforted knowing that Runecrafting came out in 2004, and having 91 Runecrafting for double nats in the same year Runecrafting came out doing methods like this is absolutely insane. I'm sure people had it, but when you get like 6k XP an hour doing methods like this, I mean, good luck. Let's just hope they could afford energy potions. Oh, boys, do I have news for you. This is the last inventory, and I'm really excited because this took a lot longer than I anticipated. 3.5 hours later, looks like we only got just shy of 18k XP. I did lose some nature runes buying and selling, so those 8 are just in the void. And, oh, I'm excited to sell these guys. These will sell for 300 GP each. We don't have a telly to get back, so let's do a nice long walk and cash in. Get those rewards. And we're gonna come up to our boy, the 2004 merchant, chuck him a trade. And when we sell all of these for 300 GP each, we'll get 597.6k. Absolute bank. It took forever, but we have a lot of money and we can go on a pretty big shopping spree. And trust me, we will. So let's get ourselves a really good melee setup right off the bat. 57.5k for a rune plate body, 52.5k for a pair of rune plate legs, 52.5k for a rune kite shield. I really wish this was a dragon square shield, but you'll see how expensive that is later in the episode. 100k for an uncharged glory. It's 10k more charged, and I really want to spend that. And 100k for the ring of wealth, and there's a lot of very expensive items on the rare drop table, and I'm really hoping this 100k investment is worth it. That's everything we want to buy off the market here. Next up, we're going to hit up a few shops to round out the gear a little bit more. So we can get this rune pickaxe for only 32k here versus 40k on the open market. It allows us to mine for gems, which we can sell and also go for a diamond to then go into Xanaris and save money there as well, because the dragon longsword and dragon dagger are more expensive also on the open market. And here we're going to buy some climbing boots. Only 12 GP. Can't go wrong with that. Let's get our Legends Cape. Let's hope we're coming back soon to buy this. It's quite expensive. Oh, it's going to be a big hit. It's going to be minus 78k. It's like 45 minutes of runecrafting right there. But that's the best slot for melee. So I guess that is a small price to pay. I'm not even going to lie. I've been trying to fall for the past 2 minutes because I'm too lazy to walk around to get to Clank to get my Clanks gauntlets. And yeah, I think my agility is too high for this quest. 82 agility. I guess you can't fail anymore. There he is, Clank, the man with the best gauntlets in town, tied with the steel gauntlets from the Family Crest quest. But these, I believe, are free. Have any more gauntlets? 5k! No, wait. No, I meant to hit the other option. Yeah. Thank you. So it looks like the speed of mining gem rocks is insanely quick. Is that a diamond? Wow. I can mine all 7 so quick. I mean, we could leave right now if we wanted to, but I really want to try this method. The one bad thing is I looked everywhere for the price of red topaz, jades, and opals, and I just can't find it. But gems are really expensive. The main 4, sapphire, emerald, ruby, and diamond. And if we can get a decent amount of those, especially more rubies and diamonds, this could be a really good money maker. We also made sure to enchant the glory before we came here, and that's why we're ultimately mining it so fast. So we've been here for exactly 2.5 hours because we're getting 26k XP an hour, and we've gotten 65k XP in total so far. So really slow, all things considered, with just standing around waiting. I've actually been doing some editing for this video while I wait, but guys, we have been getting so lucky with the diamonds. I think we have more diamonds than we do rubies. Maybe not after this trip because we're getting more rubies here. But the diamonds are 1 in 32. The rubies and emeralds are 1 in 25. And the sapphires are 1 in 14. And what fills in all the other gaps is, of course, the gems that I still can't find a use for in 2004. I thought about maybe banking them and then cutting them and then selling them to just like a general store for some money. But the more I think about it, I can just make more money mining or doing other things. So still just dropping them and going through, but this will be my last trip, and then we'll sell our gems off. All right, coming up on the last trip here, let's bank everything. This is a lot of gems, guys, in just over 2.5 hours. We're, of course, not going to cut them because if this was actually 2004 and you wanted to get as much profit as possible, you wouldn't, because this is the biggest lie ever told, that this would be worth more cut. So let's take all of these out, go and sell them, grab all of our cash, to see how much we have to play around with. Mr. Mage Sticks, got some gems that I'm ready to sell. Let's throw them up in order. 94 sapphire, 43 emerald, 35 rubies, and 40 diamonds. Of course, saving 1 to cash in. Everything fair market value, 383 more K to play around with. Plus our cash from before, we're at 637k. I've basically got to do Lost City again to get back my Draymond staff so I can buy my dragon longsword. I probably should have just bought it off the market, honestly. That's so weird with entity hiders. Someone's doing the quest. That's really awkward. And I don't have any tellies, so we're gonna have to go into the Wildy and then walk all the way back down. The best in slot melee weapon and the best spec. I guess you could argue possibly the Dragon Halley is the best spec depending on the monster we're killing. But that is nice. Technically, the Dragon Spear and the Mace are better now because they're 4 tick instead of 5, but we're gonna go by 04 rules. Check out the herb prices from 2004. Seeing how most of these herbs are somewhere between 3 and 4k each, it really makes me think that we all got scammed back in the day selling unidentified herbs for 1k each. Only Guam, Marintil, and Taramin are under 1k. Even Taramins you could possibly get 1k for. And I feel like those people who were buying them for 1k each knew exactly what they were doing. That it was people like us, really young, going to Chaos Druids, getting all of these higher level herbs, selling them all, and making a hefty, hefty profit. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to kill Chaos Druids. Although this time, we're going to make sure we do not get scammed by high level players. And we're going to clean our herbs. Using this store, we can get to the anneal bank insanely fast. So banking is not an issue at all. However, we need a lockpick first. And I believe if we just walk right up here, a lockpick should be right on the ground. There it is. Perfect. Let's start killing some Chaos Druids. I think this is going to be the best moneymaker by far. I can't even begin to describe how disgustingly quick I'm killing these Chaos Druids. And I know if we actually turn back the clock, I'm sure Chaos Druids were quite packed and it took 30 seconds to hop through worlds. You probably have to share every world and you get crashed often. But to get here, the spot I am, you either need 82 thieving or 57 agility. So of all the places to kill Chaos Druids, this is definitely the most likely in 2004 to be free and open. Because the only way you're banking quick is if you get that 82 thieving, and there's really no way around that. This is why we're wearing a Ring of Wealth. 50 to 60k is the going price for half keys. That is already half the investment put into the Ring of Wealth. And I think it's incredibly rare from these guys, even with the Ring of Wealth on, but with all the killing we're doing, it just gives us the most chances. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh my god! Oh my god, I gotta look up the price of this. It's literally 1 mil. We just got a 1 mil drop. I am not kidding. It is 1 mil. I feel like I just got like a Dragon Warhammer on an Iron Man or something. Getting a 1 mil drop in 04? That could get you so much stuff. This is insane, guys. And that's not even the most insane part. It is 1 out of 41.6k. And that is with a Ring of Wealth. That is with a Ring of Wealth. 1 in 41.6k. We literally just hit the jackpot. 3.5 hours of killing Chaos Druids. I think it's time to call it quits. Courtesy of the Dragon Spear, really. Look at all of these herbs we have as well. I'm really excited to see what we get from all of this stuff. I think it's going to be, with the Spear, 1.5 mil. And actually, it's got to be more than that. We're counting things like loop halves, some gems that we have. We have law runes, nature runes, a lot of stuff just to chuck. I don't think you guys are ready for what I plan on buying next. So strap in. I went down the biggest trip of memory lane trying to add up all of this stuff, because when you used to buy and sell things in bulk, not so much bulk of one item, but a bulk amount of items, like multiple herbs, multiple runes, that sort of thing. You got to do some very quick math with a calculator, or you risk the person getting bored, fed up, trading somebody else, and making the sale with somebody else. After all of these herbs have been calculated at middle price, 852.2k. Most of these high-level herbs are 3.5k each, with the exception of Avanto, 2.5k, and Dwarfweed being 3k. And then you have the low-level herbs, Guam 250, Marintil 350, Taramin 750, and Harrylander 1.25k each. That's a hefty trade. Let's cash in. 7.25k for the small amount of gems we have. Loop half of key will be an extra 50k. We of course know nature runes are 300 GP each, and it turns out law runes are anywhere between 500 to 1000 GP each. I actually find that a little hard to believe. I'm assuming the 1k is when someone's just buying one off somebody to teleport somewhere quickly. I can only imagine in bulk it's going to be closer to 500, only because you can actually buy it from a store. So I will sell the law runes at the lowest price, because selling law runes for 750 each, I just don't think that's correct. So with those prices, that's going to be an extra 59.9k we're going to save 42 of them for teleports for our next method. Although, we're going to buy our runes from shops. We're not going to buy it off the market. And then our price goes up by 1 mil when we add my pride and joy, the Dragon Spear. An incredibly rare item. It was like 1 in 40k when we actually got the drop. And it came out with the release of RS2. So this weapon is less than a year old at this point. It's like 9 months old. And there's not many of them in the game. And I can only imagine that's why it is incredibly rare. So let's accept this trade and cash in. Nearly 2.5 mil in 2004 dollars. Now here's where things get insanely interesting. That Dragon Spear drop propelled us to afford some of the best in slot items in the game. We're gonna head for max range gear, but to achieve that, we're gonna need 2 specific items, Ranger Boots and a Robin Hood hat. Ranger Boots only come in at a price of 750k. I was only able to find price data of a Robin Hood hat from mid 2005, but that comes in at a mid price of 1.55 mil. Imagine a world where you only have to spend 2.3 mil for a Robin Hood hat and a pair of Ranger Boots. It's so funny to think that something as silly as a Dragon Spear is a lot more expensive than a pair of Ranger Boots, a best in slot item. Let's accept this trade and let's get that best in slot range. Oh, that's nice. The best part about Ranger Boots in 2004 is that they did not look like this. This model came out in 2005. The Robin looked the same, but not the boots. Those shared the exact same model of green Fremnik boots. These are the authentic Ranger Boots from 2004. In the last trade there, I accidentally put up the extra 42 law runes, but Mage Sticks, being the stand-up guy he is, graciously gave them back to me because I didn't charge him the first time around for those. So we got those back. Also have some water runes here and air runes that we just bought so we can kill some blue dragons next. But before we do that, let's make ourselves an MSB and some black D-hide. The price was really hard to find, and I figured back in 2004 there'd be a massive markup on buying black D-hide anyway. And guess what? We're a max player, or close to a max player in 2004, so we can make our own. And there is the MSB. Let's go buy some arrows and kill some black dragons. I've been hopping every single world to buy 20 mithril arrows to get 2,000. There technically was a 30-second hop timer, but there is no price information on how much arrows went for. So it's kind of my only option, or else I just would have bought it off the market. But that is 2,000 mithril arrows. I think I got them at around like 35 GP each or so, it looks like. So that should last us quite a bit of time. I bought some studded because I'm scared I won't hit the black dragons otherwise. But I think this looks pretty darn cool, to be honest. Now this is peak 2004. And I'm going to ask this again, just like in every other video. If there is a possible way to make a plugin where you could change the models into old RuneScape models, like the old dragons, the old imps, the old hellhounds, demons, and so on and so forth, please do it. We need it. It'll make these videos so much better. This is a very exciting moment, guys, because we are about to get best in slot range. All we need to do is craft up some D-hide. Let's make the body, the legs, and then the van braces. Now, an argument could be made that an unholy book and rune knives are better DPS, especially against low-level monsters. I would put that as the best in slot. But all things considered, against most monsters with higher defense, I would say this would reign supreme, with rune arrows, of course. We've done it. Taverley Dungeon Blue Dragons, one of the most iconic spots in old RuneScape, period. And we're here to hunt those juicy dragon bones, which go between 2 and 3k each, and even the hide for about 1.7k, I believe. So we're gonna make a lot of money. We're also gonna do every single clue we get. It is 1 in 128, so I'm not expecting much, but I think we're gonna make a lot of money here as well. Clue scroll! Our first clue scroll! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Now, I mean, a lot of these clues aren't gonna be 04, but we'll do some movie magic, and after we finish this inventory, I'll do the clue scroll. Although that one might be 04. We'll have to see. Clue scrolls were an absolutely insane way to make money back in 2004 if you were able to do them consistently. Basic and cheap items we see now, such as a Black Cavalier, Saradom and Kite Shields, and Zamorak Full Helms were so high in price, being at least 400k, 600k, and 550k respectively. Prices of Clue Scroll items were very scarce back then, so hopefully we get lucky with an item we know the price of. This is some spooky shit. I'm risking max range in the wildy right now. Is this the end of the clue? Oh, it is. You know what? We're gonna open it in the wildy as well. There's a lot of new items we could get, so I'm really not expecting much from this. But I'll take a lot of alchables at the least. I mean, those are 500 GP each. That doesn't exist. And the rest, I feel like I can get some good money for. So you know what? I'll take it. Man, 60 total kills, and we get another hard clue scroll. I'm gonna finish the inventory, but we're gonna send that in a sec. There's the casket, casket number 2. This one needs no introduction. Here we go. Well, we get full black D-hide. Man, wish I was doing a PvP challenge. I'd be set right now. Kinda meh. I mean, it's bad. I'll just say it's bad. 200 dragons killed, perfectly lined up with an inventory there. And let's go see what we got in the bank. $200 blue dragon hide and 206. That's right, because we killed the 6 dragons. I was gonna say, how did I mess up that bad? Another hefty haul here. 1.7k for the blue dragon hide, 2.5k each for the dragon bones. And you know what? Let's check up the nats as well for 300 each. That's gonna bring us to 918k. This was just over 4 hours of killing dragons, by the way. That includes banking. It includes the clue scrolls. So let's add the clue scroll loot. 57.5k for the kite shield, 21k for the rune longsword. It's basically alch value, probably because you can just buy it from the champions guild for 32k, so they're a dime a dozen. 35k for the rune full helm, and since there's no information on the black d-hide, I just took alch value and added 2.5k to the body and the legs. I feel like that's a massive understatement for the time period, but since I have nothing else, that's 131k. Add that to the total, and we net over a mil from killing blue dragons. We can't do a video centered all around prices without discussing the value of rare items. Just 13 months prior, in November of 2003, the infamous duplication bug occurred, causing the prices of all rares to plummet. If we take a look at these graphs, it's obvious when the glitch occurred, bringing down the price of everything to near nothing. These were the prices of rare items when they were at their lowest since the release of RS2, the middle of 2004. This was a time when the purple party hat was only 3 mil, a mask set was roughly a mil, and Santa hats were trading for less than 200k. It wasn't until the later half of 2004 that all rares were able to return to their pre-crash prices. Following the graph, there is a meteoric rise in the price of rares, with blue party hats jumping from around 8 mil to 190 mil in just under 2 years. So we have max range. It's time to go for max Mage, which is actually the cheapest of the 3. So I don't know the price of split bark. I can't find it anywhere, so we're gonna make it ourselves. Fine cloth, we're gonna need 10 of them, 25k each. And just because I want the best in slot woodcutting axe, figured I'd also throw that up. 25k each for the fine cloth, 20k for the rune axe. That is gonna be 270k for split bark. It'll actually cost more than that because we have to pay a wizard to make it for us, but you'll see. Let's go chop some bark. Have you guys ever chopped a hollow tree before in your life? Genuinely, I think I might be the first person to ever be chopping a hollow tree and making split bark past the year 2004 here. Apparently you get 82.5 XP. I wonder if this was like a woodcutting method back in the day. Oh, that's 10. I was getting too excited chopping hollow trees, man. I literally walked up here and I had to wiki who to talk to, not realizing there's just some woman here literally walking around in full split bark. But anyways, ooh, how much did that cost me? I know that one's 37k. Expensive enough to, you know, create a nice dent in my cash jack. That's not very cool. I'm so silly. I forgot a Farseer helm is the best in slot for magic. I spent 50k on cloth on this thing, as well as 6k to convert it. Oh, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. And I needed that money too, because the rest of the mage setup is quite expensive. We need to buy a Zamorak page set for an unholy book, and they sell for 150k a pop. On Rune HQ, there's only one page. They're just called Torn Page Zs, which is what they used to be called back in the day, but it was Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4. They only have it as one item, and it says 150k a pop, so we're going with it. So that's going to be 600k plus 150k for wizard boots. So that's going to be 750k spent. And I'm really sad because we are just shy of a Farseer helm now. We actually need a Farseer helm as well as a Staff of Zamorak to get the max mage. So we're just going to chill at magic trees for a little bit. I'll probably get about 100 or so, sell those, complete our max mage setup. And then it's on to melee, which makes me want to cry a little bit. If you guys are enjoying this video, please let me know and like it up. I sometimes get nervous uploading niche content like this, and what was supposed to be a video of me going over prices somehow became a full-on 2004 progression video. So let me know, subscribe, and if this video does well, I've got a few more old-style video ideas I'd love to make. Anyway, back to the video. I think this will put us at 112 magic logs. Yes. All right. Let's sell this and let's finally max out our mage. Exactly 1k each for magic logs. It's crazy how much better these are than sharks. You take me back to 2004. I'm picking woodcutting. We're back here in Relica to get our Farseer helm. We'll buy one of those plus 6 magic. We're finally looking like a mage. Now, I believe you get a free staff when you complete Mage Arena 1, but gonna buy it anyway. Ooh, that looks nice. Now, we gotta match the book. We gotta match the staff. Usually, it should spawn here. I pick it up. Happy days, but they now put it in your inventory. We've done it, boys. That's magic completely maxed out. So that's range and mage done. Now, this isn't actually maximum magic attack because this staff only gives plus 6, and you could wear like an air staff and get plus 10. But of course, you're gonna want to use one of the god spells with the charge spell because that maxes to 30. And in this time period, that is by far the best DPS for any magic spell you can possibly do. So technically speaking, this staff with 63 magic attack is by far the best magic gear. The main reason I wanted the Ring of Wealth wasn't to get spooned early for a dragon spear, but because I wanted to go for the most fabled rare drop table item, the shield left half. The Dragon Square Shield is the best shield in the game and can only be created by rolling the shield left half drop on the rare drop table. It then costs an additional 750k to buy the right half to attach, making the Dragon Square a whopping 7 million coins. Now there's a few ways I can make that money, but I thought it would be fun to chase for the drop myself, as killing fire giants with the Ring of Wealth equipped, the rate of the shield left half is only 1 in 1,662. I'm not really sure what room I should pick as my prison for the next however long this is going to take, but we're going to stay here until we get the drop. It looks like we're killing them pretty quick, which is nice. I mean, I am 99 range, so I would sure hope so. So we still have over 900 arrows, which is really nice, but I'm not really worried about money. That's all the money I have, but literally I can get 1 rune simi, sell it for 35k. That's the going rate, and that is literally 1k mithril arrows. There's also fire battle staves. My first drop is rune arrows. Speaking of staves, there's one right there. So I'm not worried at all. I could also get a rare drop table item that's not the shield left half, like another spear. I'll take one of those. That's 1 mil. And yeah, so I'm not worried about that. It's just gonna take a while. It's just a grind at this point. I look way too 05 with these boots on. There we go. When I put on my wizard boots, I actually had to turn off the plugin because it overrides anything I wear. But now we're looking perfect. Oh my god, it happened. What's my KC? 131. No way. No way. No flipping way. Oh my god, this is the first inventory still. I don't even have enough money to buy the other half right now. That's 750k. What the fuck? Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Oh my god. I am in complete shock right now. I was expecting that to easily take 2 days. And with it taking so long, I get other rare drop table stuff like key halves and gems and maybe another dragon spear to make the 750k to buy the other half. There is absolutely no information on how much the battle staves were, so I'm just gonna chuck them all in the general store, and one instantly got yoinked up. Look at that, 67k. I wanted to save the best for last, so we're gonna mine some rune to get the 750k to buy the shield right half to attach to the shield left half that we just got. Now, I think this is the best moneymaker, which is why I'm saving it for last. So aside from things like getting a really, really lucky pull with shield left half, I believe mining rune in 2004 is the best steady way of making money. The awesome thing about mining runite ore is, of course, that you're always at the very least going to get 10k for the ore because it's attached to certain alch value prices of runite items. So even back in 2004, when there's not much money in the economy, you know somebody will be willing to pay at least 10,000 coins for it because they know when they sell it, at the very least, they can make something that they can just alch and they'll get their money right back. And if you remember earlier in the episode, rune axes are 20k each. So people would get their hands on rune, smith it into rune axes, and then sell it at a massive markup to people in the market. The only problem with that, and why I won't be doing that in this video, is because I feel like that's more merching than it is smithing, because you spent a lot of your time in Falador Park selling runite axes, and let's be honest, that completely defeats the whole point of this video because there's no actual market that I could sit there and say selling rune axe 20k to. Although that would be really fun if we had that option to, but we don't. And of course, back in 2004, you couldn't just hop worlds. That's why I've been trying to avoid methods that require a lot of hopping. I just couldn't leave rune off because, let's be honest, this is gonna be the best moneymaker by far, and it would have been silly to leave that out. This is what a high level player would be doing in this time period, but I will be waiting 30 seconds in between each world before I hop, just to make it a little bit more authentic on the time and how many I could realistically get in an hour. I feel like that's a pretty good trade-off. I'm gonna bank using the Mage arena. I actually don't know if this is the quickest way, but it just is the most nostalgic to me, and if it is slower, it's definitely not gonna be slower by much. The other way would be to have telly runes, just run down to 20, telly, and then walk all the way back up. All right, it's been about 2 hours, a little bit more to be exact, and 108 runite ore. This is 11.5k each, guys. A nice, big, hefty payday coming up. 108 runite ore is going to sell for 11,250 each for a grand total of 1,215,000 GP. And now we have plenty of money to make ourselves that shield. All right, I believe we got to walk up here, trade Siegfried, Urkel, and oh my god, that is so expensive. I believe I need to use this on an anvil. Yeah. Whoa, guys, oh my gosh, no way, there's a dragon kite shield in 2004. I'm sure many of you guys know this, but for those of you that don't, the shield left half and right half actually combine on the ground when you drop it, a dragon kite shield instead of the dragon square shield. And I believe the pieces to make the kite shield drop into a square shield. So a little quirky thing that Jagex did there. And let's forge that ancient metal. That, oh, the best in slot offhand melee has been achieved. Pretty much Iron Manned it too. We got the shield left half ourselves, and that felt really good. An argument can be made that the Unholy Book is better because it gives attack bonus, and if you're taking no damage, then yes, it's always going to be the Unholy Book. But that would have been such a cop-out if I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go for that, and I'm going to just ignore the shield. But what I will cop-out with is the Dragon Chain Body for the best in slot melee, only because it is 25 million coins in December of 2004. And to be honest, I don't want this to become a mining runite ore simulator, and I don't want to be stuck at the Calphite Queen for the next week of my life, killing it in 2004 gear. So with that, we will call it the just shy of max melee achieved in this video. But I didn't get an extra 500k for nothing. It's a very calculated move. We're gonna buy one of my favorite items ever, and luckily enough, in 2004, a Santa hat was only 500k. Shot up from its price in the middle of 2004 from 200k all the way to 500k. But let's wrap it up with looking really awesome with one of the most iconic items in RuneScape. Don't forget to hit that like button if you guys enjoyed. It means a lot to me if you made it to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the 2004 vibes. Leave a comment telling me your favorite memory from this time period, and I will see you guys in the next one.